the cells like macrophages and other cells in your body that clean things out bind to it and carry it out. So it's kind of like a flagging and tagging and get out of here. It's like, tagging the garbage to be taken out. That's what your antibodies do, right? So that's it. So having more of those antibodies around, they can just sort of non-specifically or specifically bind to pathogens in your gut just by chance, like the cow. A lot of the pathogens that are in the air, bacteria and stuff, the cow's also seen too, right? And so they might be in our bodies, and it'll just kind of decrease it. It'll just get that stuff out of there. It'll bind to it, carry it out. And that's the thought behind the cleansing mechanism of it. Okay, did that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So and you got. I mean, you can get all nerdy on it. Wikipedia is a great source to look at this stuff. I mean, because for some of the basic science stuff is really good. Because you have different classes of antibodies. So like at your mucosal surfaces, the ones that like line your nasal passages and somewhat the interior of your gut, you've got IgA. That's a type of immunoglobulin. Okay, it's mainly in like your secretions, right? Like in your saliva and your mucus and stuff. Then you've got IgG, which is throughout your body. It's in your mucus. It's also in your bloodstream, right? So IgG is the predominant type of immunoglobulin in there. There's a very small amount of IgA in there. And again, the specificity varies. And by specificity, I mean like for example, in that rotavirus study I quoted you, they actually immunized the cow so they would make antibodies that were specific for rotavirus. And because the cow is producing the colostrum, it knows the antibody is going to come out in the colostrum. So then when you give the person the colostrum, they now have colostrum in their gut that when it sees rotavirus, it's going to go crazy. It's going to stick to that rotavirus and get it out of there. And that's what the study showed. Pretty amazing. So I think they should do that for every gastrointestinal virus, and hopefully one day they will. But even just basic product that hasn't been specifically modified for that will have that effect for many other pathogens. There are a lot of studies to be done on that particular process, but that's pretty much stated.
Quick question. So it might be an obvious one, but if somebody has a dairy sensitivity,
yes,
they probably are going to be dissuaded away from taking that product.
Well, not necessarily. It depends. There's lactoferrin and other things in there that can upset lactose intolerance, but they're lower level than, let's say, milk.
Right.
So, depending on how severe your lactose, I'm lactose intolerant, I can take it, I don't have a problem.
Okay.
Right? But it depends on the severity of your lactose intolerance.
Okay.
But in general, there's much less of the lactose in there. Lactoferrin is in there, which has some properties that are similar to lactose, but it will be easier on your stomach than general milk if you're lactose intolerant.
So what other foods or type of products can you get a lot of IgG? Or is this primarily like this is the go-to?
In nature, it's like the best, I think. I mean, the cow kind of figured it out. Chicken soup, but it's not as much.
Right.
And I mean, it's just one of those things that the cow figured that out. I mean, I call it chicken soup from the cow. It's like, it's one of the best kept secrets. I mean, it's like, this is just kind of a nice source of protein and IgG to kind of cleanse you out.
And then another question, I'm just going to keep firing questions.
Yeah.
So next question. I think that there are other colostrums from New Zealand and that sort of thing, sourcing-wise.
Yeah.
Why did you guys choose USDA organic or USDA source grade A in the United States?
We're American. No, in fact, the guy from New Zealand that was sort of central to building up a lot of their supplies built the facility over here.
Okay.
So it was a very nice facility. That guy's a bit of a zealot about colostrum. I'll just let you know. I like him. He's a good dude. I'm not speaking bad of him. But he'll say that it does like 50,000 million things, right? I'm like, it does like probably 5 or 10 things really, really great.
Yeah.
And that's what I would kind of focus on. But they have a good facility over here. And again, it's a byproduct of the dairy industry over here. They throw it away. They give it to the early calves that need it in order to survive. And then they throw like gallons and buckets of this stuff away. And it has medicinal properties. Go figure, right? So if you purify it properly, which they have, then it's really good.
Cool.
So.
All right, bro.
Cancer patient on chemo, would this be something that would help with their gut issues that they have?
Presumably. The studies haven't been done, but I'm just, again,
Just
presumably. Any kind of leaky gut, sort of ulcerative colitis type of thing, this is probably going to have at least a soothing effect.
With or without food? With food?
With
Does it
food
matter?
generally or without food. It's sort of like a food in of itself. Again,
That's
like
what
it's
I was
got
kind of figuring.
protein mass that makes it food-like.
I see that you have nattokinase. Can you just do it like a quick minute on what nattokinase really kind of does?
You want to talk about that? I'll let my colleague talk about that. She knows
Hi.
better than me.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Hello.
So the nattokinase is basically fermented soybeans. It's been used in the Asian market for years and years for heart health and for other medicinal purposes. We do have the vitamin K removed here for the heart patients because a lot of them cannot have vitamin K depending on their medications. And it helps to break up the plaque that's in the bloodstream, so it helps with blood clots and things of that nature. Now, if you are on a blood thinner, you want to be careful taking this product because it will thin out the blood. But it also helps to clean the blood. So that's nattokinase.
Okay. Great. So why did you guys choose to put a nattokinase with colostrum? Is it kind of in terms of suite of products? Was it
Oh,
just-
that was my fault because we had the sample and I brought it down.
Oh, I'm
I thought
sorry.
it was Symbiotic.
Oh, no, it's all good.
No, no, it is a pro-symbiotic product. It's in our suite of products
Yeah.
for pro-symbiotics. Yeah.
Okay.
And Kareem, you also are making a pro-symbiotics for athletes, right?
Mhm.
Like given with this high performance, this new data that's coming out on that.
Yeah.
That's another element.
Yeah.
I left my card out for you guys, so if you go to that website, natureaid.com, that's on that business card, you can see all of our product line.
You had a question?
So obviously you guys are Nature Aid. Is Pro-Symbiotics like a child of that, or is it a brand, or?
It's a
So pro-symbiotics is a brand.
Okay.
I don't know, ask the question, but and it's sold exclusively to physicians.
Okay.
So
Do you
in
have a
the
retail line then, or just?
we have a retail line, but we have higher levels of Immulox, which is the Proline-Rich Polypeptides you spoke of.
Mm-hmm.
So 20% here, and our retail line is much lower.
Okay.
So
So-
you sort of have to dose that again because you want to if you're trying to modulate, they're using that to try to modulate the effects on the immune system,
Yeah.
right? So they're sort of dosing that a bit. That's why it's encouraged to have a physician involved in that. But the regular stuff has lower levels of that, but still has the IgG and the other stuff that's really beneficial in general.
Right.
Any more questions? Just thank you. I'm Kareem Cook, by the way. So I'm one of the owners of Nature Aid Pro-Symbiotics. And we also have some other products. We have our cough and cold line, as well as Vegan Smart, which is our all-in-one nutritional shake.
Love
It's
that.
20 grams of plant-based protein, there's digestive enzymes, dietary fiber, a whole food complex, omega. So it's a great all-in-one product. But anyway, so it's all available here. There's you have a shelf there that has the newest products, so you can see everything there. And I just want to say thank you for having us, and thanks for Shaka for coming out from. He's very understated, but a lot of people have to wonder who the smartest guy out of the thousands of people you've met is, and this is the smartest guy I've ever met in my life. Princeton grad, he got his PhD, Rockefeller Institute, finished #1 in his class. Studied under David Ho, who's the leading HIV researcher. So he won't tell you this, so I can tell you, but if anyone's going to find a cure for AIDS, it's going to be this guy, because he's the closest in the world.
Wow. We're trying.
So he's
That's
really,
what I do.
that's what he really does for the government in DC, and he just, I can't say enough about this guy. But thank you for having us, and if you have any other questions, you can call Debbie, to further help you with the individual skills, and we'll have this online, and everyone have this as well, and so that you can also email Shaka if you want.
I'll answer
All right.
all your nerdy science questions.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.